Hey, yo! Chat! That's not bad at all!
Oh, sorry. I'll be back in the video in a second. Wait. Yes. Holy shit, I did it! Hey everyone, I am super in love with AI. I'm just kidding. I think we are all tired of AI at this point. The developments that used to be interesting and shocking are now just tiring and a reminder that we are sprinting into a future that is both scary and full of the unknown. Anyways, with each new iteration of this technology, we see a surge in public discourse about it. There is this cycle of everyone being surprised by it at first, then upset by it, and then a rush of AI superfans coming out to defend it. The latest example of this cycle happened a few weeks ago, when OpenAI integrated their new AI art model based on the Studio Ghibli art style into ChatGPT. In the following few days, after spending way too much time reading arguments from the AI art supporters, I came to the conclusion that AI art stans don't understand art.
Dude, I love this guy.
That's the title. Came up with it myself. There are two main arguments made by AI art supporters that I want to focus on. The first one is that AI art is good because the product of art matters more than the creator of said product. The second one is that it will soon replace human artists because of how good said product is. And just so I'm not ranting into the void, I'm going to use the two modern philosophers, XQC and Asmongold, to represent these two ideas, because they are some of the most popular creators that argued these exact points during this recent uproar with the Ghibli AI model. I'm aware that the main target of these recent comments is about the art that you draw, but as AI progresses, there are clearly plans to overtake everything that humans do, so I'm going to focus on all human-created art and content. Anyways, I'm going to begin with the first take that I talked about, the idea that the enjoyment of art is not attached to the creator of it. XQC expresses this idea with slightly different phrasing, saying he consumes the product and not the method.
A lot of AI art coming out, it is literally better than most artists' best work. If something does better by itself than an artist can for the entire life, I mean, brother, I gotta be honest with you, I don't really give a shit. I don't consume the method, I consume the product.
Now, to be clear, this just isn't true. Think about how you react to art you enjoy and how you describe it to a friend. It's not just good, it's well drawn or beautifully shot, amazingly acted. We usually praise, even if it's subconsciously, the creators of art when we praise art itself. This is true in my last video as well, where I described the musicians I was recommending as having interesting production and pretty vocals. The first one of those is literally talking about how the music is put together, how it's created, and the second one is about the human voices that the creators have. They're both relating back to the artist. When I look at a piece of beautiful art made by a human, I am stunned and impressed and emotionally affected by it. It's a reaction I am having not only to the physical object in front of me, but also to the work put into the art itself. If that same quality of beauty was created by a robot, I might think it's pretty, but I won't be touched or moved by it. And I'm not gaining any human perspective from the art because it's not human created. What I mean by a gain in human perspective is that, in all forms of artistic expression, the artist has put a piece of themselves into their artwork. So when you consume that art, you are being exposed to a part of that person. You are consuming a piece of their identity or thoughts put into that art. There is always this emotional exchange happening. And of course, it's not just a one-way street. I realize that when you're a small child, you might watch a TV show or look at a painting and see only what's in front of you. But as you grow and gain sentience and perspective, I think it's normal and relatable to start to question the artist's intentions behind things. When you do that, it becomes this conversation that you're having with the creator of the art. I think the most obvious demonstration of the creator-art connection is to think of the last time your friend or your partner or someone you care about has created a piece of art. It doesn't matter if they're sketching something or playing me a piece of music. If I enjoy someone's personality, I'm pretty much guaranteed to enjoy their art more. That's because their art is just an extension of that personality. I realize I might sound like an art snob if I keep rambling about it, but I promise that's not the case. This doesn't just apply to whatever high art is. When I sit back and stare at my phone and enjoy an absolutely insane shitpost, that's still a piece of art that has value because an absolutely insane person posted that shit. This principle applies everywhere. It's also true no matter how good you find something to be. Bad movies are hilarious because I watch them in awe of why a director made it that way. Bad songs are only funny because of how awkwardly the lyrics are put together. When a kid draws a shitty doodle of something, first of all, it's adorable. And second of all, it's only interesting because a tiny little brain made it. Of course, art being bad or good in the first place is an example of subjectivity, the very thing that AI can never replicate. Let's strip this down and focus on the basics, a medium of art where AI has been known to be quite convincing at imitating human art, which is just words. There is an artist I really enjoy named Elroy, who not only has the coolest eyes in music, but also a really short and sweet Spotify bio that is just the words infinite love and then a heart emoji. It's partially just a reference to the name of his most recent single, but even without the song, just these 15 characters alone makes me feel something. It reminds me of this perfect mood I'm sometimes in, where I am incredibly happy and I get really appreciative of the people in my life, our connections, and the positive effect we can all have on each other. I start to imagine this overflowing trough of love inside me that I can feel when I'm just at my best and consciously considering the innate good in everyone. Anyways, I'm very well aware that that's incredibly corny, and I expect you to make fun of me, but I still think it's valuable. It's this emotional response I'm having to the emotions written in by Elroy to that little sliver of text. Now, let's go back a few steps and say this whole bio was just spit out by ChatGPT. A language model analyzed combinations of English words that have a high probability of being used together, and then shit out 20 bytes of information onto my screen. It's the same words in the same order, but there is no emotion or intent behind them. Instead of being an encapsulation of a genuine human experience, a message written vaguely to be up for interpretation, it's just data. It's valueless, and I have no reaction to it. This is a pretty long-winded build-up, and you can judge me for that because it came from my brain and not a language regurgitation software. But my point is this: no matter the type, quality, or level of art, there is literally no fucking point if it is not made by someone. Another more obvious point about art needing creators is that AI art is basically a bunch of complex data that's been sanded down and made to look familiar, so you lack some of the detail and unique qualities that you'd have in renditions by real artists. That's why all the Ghibli art edits look super flat and samey. There's no exploration of ideas in them. The only example of a good Ghibli AI art render was this, which actually really surprised me. Yeah, just kidding. This is a redraw of a Ghibli frame from a real fucking artist, referenced by a jackass who implied the opposite, didn't credit them, and then got pissed when people called him out on it. You can probably instantly tell how much more soul went into this piece. Look at the energy in the eyes and how alive this feels in comparison to the soulless Snapchat filter slop that ChatGPT spits out. Side note, this is the worst part of the popularization of AI-made art in my opinion. This artist put so much time into this frame, an expression of passion and love for the original work, just for thousands of people to see it, think it was some shit a computer spat out, and use it to confirm their pro-AI art biases. That fucking blows. Let's actually dive a bit deeper on the guy that posted this, because I think just a few of his posts can show us the flawed mentality behind a lot of support for AI art. The first post of interest here is at the top of the thread we were just on, where he posts an AI remake of Princess Mononoke, calls it objectively better, and says this: "The Ghibli art style is plain, uninspired, and the actual reasons people love it is because of the quality of stories the style has been attached to, not the style itself." What? This statement is so moronic, it physically hurt me the first time I saw it. The attachment to the Ghibli art style is not some dim-witted, nostalgic association to its stories, it is a love of the style itself, which is evident in the fact that the Ghibli aesthetic is so universally loved by people who never even watched the movies. The simplicity of it also didn't come from time or hardware constraints. It's a deliberate attempt to give you that innocent, cozy feeling that harsher lines and flashier colors just don't. I don't think a fourth of the people that watch Princess Mononoke would watch it if it looked like this. It completely destroys the vibe of the movie. Anyways, let's go to another post from this user. This time a video of him creating an AI art piece. It starts off with this sketch he draws himself, and with the magic of AI, he turns it into this thing? I hope you agree with me that this is a tragedy. I honestly kind of feel bad for this guy. It is so sad that he can't see how much more visually unique and interesting the image he made without AI is. It doesn't have as much saturation or a background, but the rawness of it actually looks pretty cool. In particular, the face, I think is much, much better on the left than on the right. You lose so much of the character in exchange for just more pixel density. And he unfortunately loves the result and considers the use of this AI tool to have been very helpful to him as an artist. Except, is he really an artist? Clearly, there are things that AI tools can do for artists, like better content selection for photo editors, or machine learning assisted noise reduction for video editors. These work because they aren't creative tasks. It's just taking the boring legwork out of the process. To be an artist, you still have to be in the driver's seat, making the art. And no, entering the prompt yourself does not put you in the driver's seat. It's like putting in the destination for a lift, except this lift only takes you to some approximation of where your destination is, and it somehow burns even more fossil fuels in the process. And giving up on the creative work, coloring, shading, the background, and all these little character details that the AI model handled completely on its own, you're just removing yourself from the art. With each step in the process that is being handed off to artificial intelligence, you are giving up a huge chunk of artistic expression, to the point where calling yourself an artist based off the final result feels like a massive insult to artists that have actually put in the work to translate their emotions, thoughts, and passion into whatever art form they've chosen to use. The flawed mentality that I said would come up with this guy, and that is very apparent in these posts, is that he's clearly picturing art as some sort of objective competition based on absolutes, rather than a form of expression that needs subjectivity and human input to even exist. That's why he somehow thinks that the AI remake of the Princess Mononoke picture is better, and that the AI remake of his sketch is better as well. First off, I obviously much prefer their original forms, but also the idea that there is some sort of objectively better, seemingly more realistic version of art that should be the goal for all artists is absurd. From that lens, everything Picasso ever made is absolute dog shit. Anyways, the response to XQC's comment about consuming the art or content instead of the creator is this: there is no value to consuming art without a creator behind it. And I don't think people want to consistently consume art without a creator behind it. It's just not entertaining. Of course, that argument would fall apart if there were notable evidence of AI art being enjoyed, right? Let's talk about that in the next section, where I'll address Asmongold's giddy statement that it's so over for artists and they should become plumbers instead.
So if you are an artist, this has been a really bad week for you. And I want to promise you that it's going to get worse, okay? And I would focus on a career change. Yeah, exactly. And focus, like, go be a plumber or something like that, right? This is here to stay. And this is welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to the new normal.
For that clip to be correct, again, there has to be some large rise in AI art consumption. Let's see if that's true, starting with the most prevalent form of AI art online, which is, again, just word-based art. Articles, poems, stories can all be written by AI now, and they're all flooding the web. But does anyone actually like them? In my experience, it is the exact opposite. People hate the new slop that is consumed articles and other text-based media. They're trying to avoid it, not consume it more. Nobody is sitting down on a Thursday afternoon to sip coffee and read an AI-written storybook. It just doesn't happen. The same is true with any drawing, movie, or song created by AI. Consuming these forms of art is an emotional experience, one that is meant to entertain. If there was no emotion being put into these things for me to enjoy, why would I have an emotional reaction to them? Why would I care about lyrics with no care put into writing them? How could I gaze at a painting made by AI looking for meaning when there is no meaning put into the painting? Honestly, AI drawings and photos are among the easiest to shut down because I essentially never see them garner appreciation from the general public. People have fun using AI art makers as one-off toys or as a way to piss off people who find AI art offensive. But other than that, people tend to very loudly hate AI art. When I'm done scrolling past all the bigoted media in my Twitter feed and I get to the popular art posts with tens of thousands of likes, it is all still human-created art. Speaking of human-created art, check out Euclid on Twitter. I think that's how you pronounce their name. I'm stupid. But if you think this drawing looks raw as fuck, yeah, check them out. I wanted to shout them out, but I didn't actually know when to do so. Anyways, back to the point, AI art just isn't really being consumed. I was talking to a friend about this being the case, and he mostly agreed with me, but he said the exception to this would be adult art, porn. If you are unaware, traditionally, people like to commission artists to draw art of their OC or original character in certain contexts. And even though this might seem a bit random, this isn't for laughs. It is a big part of the online artist economy, so I really want to talk about it. First off, I do see that a lot of AI art is a bit more sexual than necessary, so I get why it might be the first thing that people think of. But I actually don't think there's going to be a big shift towards using AI art for this purpose, especially not one that would replace the humans creating adult art right now. The people that have invented these characters, that have an emotional attachment to them enough to where they'd want to pay for an artist commission of them, are not going to so quickly turn to AI to do the same. This is because people do care about these characters, and I believe they value and want artists drawing them to care about them as well. AI is just not capable of doing that. There is also a lot of AI content on YouTube right now, so let's talk about that because it's relevant. The tools have already been invented, right? AI editing is here, AI video composition is here, and there's no way that AI in its current form couldn't make this exact commentary video. So yeah, there's a slurry of long-form YouTube AI content out there. The thing is, the majority of people aren't watching it. It's not exactly an issue of objective quality. The reason why I don't watch that content isn't because of its production value. Often they are well-paced, highly edited, and I suppose well-written. It's just that there is absolutely no point in it. I am not learning about anyone through the video. I am not experiencing anyone's opinions, thoughts, or expression through the video. And if I wanted basic facts, I could just Google it. So why would I watch this video when the art of video creation has been removed from it? Let me give you another, more personal example. You're half asleep, you're doom scrolling, and you stumble across some AI-generated short. You stick with it because it's been engineered to retain your attention and suck all of your time away. But even though you watch it and thus consume an AI product, I think there's a trend amongst this type of content. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? But I don't know anyone who feels good after watching a video like that. That is the downfall of all AI art creations. They're missing that critical human element that makes all art enjoyable, that makes you think, that makes you feel better, or feel anything at all for that matter. Some might say these flaws, the reasons why AI art is not being consumed by the general public, are only because it's underdeveloped right now. So let's do a little thought experiment. Let's imagine for a second that AI art was absolutely perfect in its technological implementation and could produce perfect art tailored to anyone's needs. In this world, you open Netflix and there is a show in your account made by AI with perfect production that is 100% your desired show to watch. You might watch it once out of curiosity, but would you like it? Would you rewatch it? Would it be your comfort show? It certainly wouldn't be mine. Comfort shows usually require you to have an attachment to the characters, and I don't think viewers would be so easily attached to characters to which no one was even attached enough to create, write, or act. You wouldn't be having social conversations about the show because everyone's is generated differently. You wouldn't be having a conversation with the show because the show isn't trying to say anything. It's just trying to keep your attention. So what are you getting out of this experience? Even in this perfect world where AI is pandering to you flawlessly, that shit still fucking sucks. One thing that I have to bring up to be fair and just to all the AI art lovers out there is that there is legitimate demand for AI art in those shitposts that are making fun of how weird it looks. So in summary, AI art is not actually being consumed unless it's the punchline to a human creation. Even if it were fully capable of recreating the surface level details of human art, it still would not have any value because of the reason I stated earlier. The exchange of emotion is gone. Thus, my response to Asmongold's take is this. Why the fuck would you think it's over for human artists? Okay, so I've addressed both major points. The video's over, right? Wrong. I tricked you. Sorry, that was mean, but I didn't do anything for April Fools this year, so I'm catching up. The third and final argument about AI art that I want to address is actually against these streamers, XQC and Asmongold. When both of their clips got shared all over my part of the internet in March, many people were upset and started immediately clowning them, bringing up how ironic it was to celebrate AI art replacing humans when they are so replaceable themselves. The thing is, I actually don't agree. Let me explain. To effectively navigate this section, I want to first talk about parasocial relationships. The term parasocial is often used on the internet strictly as a pejorative, a way of referring to people who are obsessed with their favorite influencer to the point of irrational behavior or delusion. However, if you're following the book definition of a parasocial relationship, it's just a one-sided, unreciprocated emotional bond. Following that, there's nothing inherently wrong with a parasocial connection to an artist or creator. In fact, I'd argue the existence of them is an important factor in the appreciation of human art and creation. As some of you guessed from my last video, I am a big fan of the YouTuber Drew Gooden. I've been watching him for almost 8 years now, and over time I have developed a positive perception of his public personality and character through his work. I believe that to be normal. Consumers of your art will develop an image of you through your art and an idea of what your personality is through what you present to them. Because of this emotional connection to him, I'd watch basically anything he puts out. He could upload a video of him eating only rocks for a month and I'd tune in. Of course, that's a terrible example. We would all watch that. It sounds insane. Anyways, it's not like I'm crazy or I think the guy's my friend, but my appreciation of his personality, however narrow my understanding of him might be, allows me to enjoy his content more. Why do I have an alarm? Dude, why do I have an alarm? It's like, what time is it? It's like 8 in the fucking evening. Live streaming, because of the real-time interaction and sheer quantity of content, is the form of creation with the highest tendency to develop these parasocial connections very quickly. XQC and Asmongold have their audience because of the way people enjoy their character. People have fallen in love, for better or for worse, with their personalities. I'm an example of this as well. I actually used to love watching XQC, especially during the pandemic. Back then, he would play Minecraft and Among Us and be this degenerate gamer boy that I could really relate to. I genuinely enjoyed his personality a lot. He was inspiring to me. The reason I stopped watching and engaging with his content was the hard pivot he made to accepting gambling sponsorships and constantly gambling on stream. I have issues with online gambling. If you've been on the internet for a while, you've probably heard of the scandal from like 2016, where there were these scammy CSGO gambling websites secretly owned by gaming YouTubers that were being marketed towards children, and people were like, hey, you shouldn't make those sites. Some fucking dumbass kid is gonna get addicted to gambling. That was me. I was fucking dumbass kid. I had respect for XQC because he had previously mocked someone else for gambling sponsorships. So when he started chilling gambling, it wasn't just that I knew I probably shouldn't watch his gambling content, but it also negatively affected my perception of his character. Because of that, I pretty much just stopped watching all of his content after that point. My enjoyment of his content was scaled linearly to my enjoyment of his personality and human nature. I think that's the case for pretty much every streamer's fan base. That's why, as much as this statement is a great tactic for a Twitter gotcha moment, luckily they're not replaceable for the same reason any human-made art or content isn't. It's about the person making the content. I mean, just look at Asmongold. Anyone could react to the YouTube video about woke video games he's watching, but his fans come to see him in particular and watch his eyebrows jolt up and down like a broken seismograph. Anyways, yeah, I don't care about an AI streamer. I don't care about an AI video, and I definitely don't care about an AI's art. Alright, let's break down and conclude this video, starting with the sort of obvious statement that, yeah, things are kind of weird right now. AI creations are spreading around and infecting every corner, nook, and cranny of the internet, and we have to develop solutions in order to filter them out. Just because that might take a while, though, doesn't mean it's over for humans. We just need a good system in place to identify human-created content, and I genuinely believe that will happen. If you have watched the entire video up to this point and you still don't agree with my premise, think about this. The very fact that you watched my shitty video of me yapping is proof that humans creating content and expressing themselves innately has value. I also want to state very plainly that this is not supposed to be a hit piece attacking the people in this video. I think they're wrong, but I don't hate them. I get most things wrong all the time. But I just don't think I'm wrong about this one. I think what happened is that when we started seeing AI art, we got so focused on how convincingly it could imitate human art, and a lot of people forgot that art is supposed to be human in the first place. At the very least, I hope that, one, my arguments made any sense because I'm on a lot of dayquil right now, and two, that artists watching this who are constantly exposed to this barrage of like anti-human art, doomer takes online, can watch this video and have like a cathartic and enjoyable experience. Please don't stop. Okay, keep making art, even if it's just for me. I love looking at it. If you are an artist or trying to be, don't give up on your dreams. I really don't think human created art will be going anywhere. I actually believe quite the opposite. People in general right now feel more disconnected than at any other time in human history. And so the demand for human connection and expression will, in my opinion, only grow. And art is a huge part of that. Anyways, yeah, I have to switch gears now because I know a lot of you are wondering if I'm going to address the controversy, and I'm going to do that now. I saw the comments last video, and I saw that one of you hopes that my channel blows up. I don't think I have to explain why that's hurtful. Do you know how hard I've been building this thing up for? Like days? And you want it blown to smithereens. I am bruised to my core. So let's keep the comments PG this time, okay? Other than that, dark moment, I did really enjoy the support for me losing my pencil, and everyone who wrote a joke in the comment section, because I genuinely do laugh like every time. I've become really annoying to my friends because I end up sending them like all the comments that I think are funny. The person who went back to my first community post and like invented some storyline where we got married and then I think I kill you, that was amazing. I'm still thinking about it, so props on that one. In other news, at 20,000 subs, I am doing a face reveal, so be sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss that. Thank you for watching. Share this with someone if you think they'd enjoy it. If it was boring, I apologize. I'm working on it. I just needed to vent. Next video should be probably a lot more fun and take less time because I won't rewrite it like 50 times. So, okay. Bye. See ya. Hey everyone, I am in love with AI. I'm just... What the fuck? What the fuck was that? That was the worst. Oh my god.